The traffic flow outside City Hall in Sidi Bouzid is back to normal. Just a month ago, dozens of protesters had brought the busy intersection to a standstill. The local residents were angered by the death of one of their own, a young produce vendor who set himself on fire in despair. Sidi Bouzid is Tunisia's rich agricultural heartland, but it is severely underdeveloped. Locals here complain of living under an unjust and tyrannical regime where the state failed to meet the basic needs of its citizens. Mohamed Amri shows me his law degree. Unemployed for 8 years, he's refused to pay the bribes customary to landing a decent job. Unemployment led Al Hadia's 3 children to make a treacherous illegal journey to Europe in search of work.
I've not heard from my children in 4 years, 4 months and 18 days. My children are more valuable than all of the money in the world, and all I want is to hear their voices.
Everywhere our cameras went on the streets of Sidi Bouzid, dozens of residents would tell us about the misery of life in this closed-off city, where abuse and exploitation at the hands of the state were common. This man shows me pictures of his injured nephew, who police shot in the first days of the uprising. Another told me how those seen praying at mosques or who had beards, a common practice among conservative Muslim men, were detained and tortured by the ousted president's staunchly secular security forces.
Our protests began with demands to address social issues like unemployment, but now we have added to these demands issues of freedom, democracy, fighting corruption, and holding officials accountable.
Those that led the initial protests, which many now are calling the Sidi Bouzid revolution, say the journey for change is not yet over. With nothing more than strong determination and a handful of cell phones they used to broadcast the protests to the outside world, it was outside these government gates that a handful of protesters not only changed the course of a country, but perhaps of an entire region. Ayman, Mohyeldin, Al Jazeera, Sidi Bouzid.